Hi, this is David with David's Tutorials, and in today's video I'd like to show you something that small engine repair shops don't want you to know: how to get a small engine started after it has sat for a year, 2 years, and you just can't get it started. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, the main thing to remember about any internal combustion engine is that it needs 3 things to operate. It needs air, which has oxygen in it, it needs fuel, and it needs a spark to ignite the fuel in the air. To make sure you have this in your small engine, of course, the first thing you need to do is to pull out your spark plug. I'll let you figure out how to do that on your own, and scrub it down with like a wire brush, maybe dip it in some gasoline or kerosene, scrub it down and put it back in. Chances are pretty good it's going to get a spark. And if you're not sure what you need to do, put the wire onto the nub of the spark plug, and with a glove, hold the spark plug against the engine and have somebody pull the engine cord. And the engine has a magneto in it, which when it turns, it produces an electric current which runs through the spark plug. And if the spark plug is good, you'll see a spark jump from the spark plug tip, and it will be a good spark plug. You can put it back in and be sure that you'll have a spark in your engine. The second thing is the air, and small engines, basically you just need to make sure that the air passage is clear. For most things such as lawnmowers and weed eaters and edgers, if you can take out the air filter and basically just knock it off, bang it against the ground or something hard. You can buy a new filter if you want to, but this is not usually needed if you have a decent filter and you can bang it off and just get all the loose stuff off and put the air filter back in. Okay, now you've taken care of the spark, you've taken care of the air. The only thing that's left is the fuel, and this is the main thing that keeps small engines from starting when they've been sitting for a while. Now, why is this? Most gasoline has additives in it, and when the gasoline sits for a long time, the additives tend to clump in the bottom, and if it's in the tank of your small engine, it will clump in the drain where it goes into the tube that goes into the carburetor. And all you need to do is to make sure that the gasoline can flow smoothly from the gas tank into the carburetor. Now, the biggest place where this gasoline additive gelling up can interfere with the operation of your engine is in the carburetor in something called the needle valve. Now, the needle valve is something that sticks out into the throat of the carburetor, and it sprays the gasoline into the airflow, which then goes into the cylinder where the spark ignites the engine. Now, what happens is the gasoline will gel in this needle valve and keep the gasoline from flowing through it. So what we need to do is clean out that needle valve. Now, there's a very easy way to do that, and I'm going to tell you what that is. It's called carburetor cleaner. You can find it pretty much in any auto parts store or a big box store. Now, the first thing to do, of course, is to take off your air cleaner so you can look down the throat of that carburetor, and then you spray some of this carburetor cleaner into the carburetor throat. This will start the dissolving of the gas from that needle valve, and you can at this point try to start the engine, and it will probably start and then die. Why? Because carburetor cleaner is a highly volatile petrochemical, even more so than gasoline. So your small engine, let's call it a lawnmower since that's what I'm demonstrating here, the small engine will start, it'll run, and then it'll die. Why? Because it's not getting any more gasoline through the needle valve. What I like to do is I'll spray the carburetor cleaner down the throat of the carburetor one more time, and then I will start it one more time. The final thing I will do is I will spray quite a bit of carburetor cleaner into the throat of the carburetor, and then I'll leave it. I'll leave it for 6 hours. I'll leave it for overnight, and generally the next time I try to start that engine, it starts right up. Okay, here I've got a lawnmower that I have had in storage for probably a year, actually more than a year, but we won't get into that right now. The first thing you're going to do when trying to start a motor that has been sitting for a while, check the oil. You don't want to kill your engine because it ran out of oil. Okay, here we go. It's got a good amount of oil in it, so I think I can safely try to start this engine. Let me show you what it's going to do after it's been sitting for a year or more, probably closer to 2 years. Hold the handle, pull the cord. Pretty feeble, right? Well, now let's try it with some carburetor cleaner. Now this cleaner I've got is Gum Out brand. You can pretty much use any brand of carburetor cleaner. And you can see it's got a straw that came with it. This is for getting the carburetor cleaner into the throat of the carburetor. Let's take a look at what this will do now. The first thing I'm going to do is take off the carburetor air cleaner cover. This is usually pretty easy to do on pretty much any small engine. You just have to push down the little tabs, and there's the carburetor, and here's the air filter. I'm going to pull out that air filter. Let's take a look at it. Here's a close-up of the air filter. You can see this is not that dirty. It's got a little bit of dirt right down here, but I'm going to be able to just pick that off with my fingers. And if it had some other dirt on it, I would probably be able to knock it on something and get most of that dirt off of there. But that's a pretty good air filter. Putting the air filter back so that I can use it next time I need it. Now the next thing I want to do is to put some of this carburetor cleaner into the carburetor. First thing I want to do is just spray it without a little tube on it right into the carburetor. The first thing we do is to locate the hole where the air goes into the carburetor, and that's right behind here. So I'm going to spray some of that right in there. Notice it's dripping down. I'm not going to worry about that, but watch what happens now when I try to pull the starting cord. Well, it seems like this time one treatment did the trick. If it happened, as it has happened to me before, that you pull the starting cord and it starts up and then dies, what that means is your needle valve is still clogged. So you just give it another treatment, maybe 2 more treatments, and if that doesn't work, you spray it good into the carburetor throat with the carburetor cleaner and let it sit for several hours, even overnight, and try it again. If this worked for you, let us know in the comment section down below, and share this video with other people, because you know there's a lot of people out there right now spending money on small engine repair shops when all they need to do is go out and buy a little spray can of carburetor cleaner. Save them a bunch of money. If this doesn't work for you, let us know what it is you tried and why you think it might not have worked for you. But remember, all your small engine needs to operate properly is air, fuel, and a spark. If you've got all those 3 things, there's no reason it can't work. So if you thought this video was helpful, please give us a big old thumbs up and let us know that you thought it was a good one, and it also lets the YouTube robots know that you thought it was very valuable, and they will recommend this video to other people who you may not think to share it with. Also, if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you're not already a subscriber, why not go ahead and click that subscribe button and then the bell icon, and then YouTube will let you know by email whenever we post another great tutorial right here on David's Tutorials.